What's up, Libra? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a full moon tarot reading for the full moon coming up on May 23rd. This full moon is going to be at 9:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be at 2 degrees Sagittarius, which will put it in the 19th mansion of the moon. I'll put a picture of the 19th mansion of the moon up. It is not a great mansion. It's really kind of all about battle. It's good for gardening. If you're into that, it's a good time to be gardening. I'm the astrologer right now. The moon in Sagittarius, if you are Libra ascendant, you're talking is going to be in the second or third house. That's the house of how you make your money, or third house, the house how you communicate. Second house is more about your actual possessions, not how you make money, but it can be that as well. Third house is communication and learning, siblings, things like this. But the moon is opposite the sun, and the sun is in a stellium, which is a chain of conjunctions, 3 or more, with Venus, little benefic, Jupiter, great benefic, and then Uranus. Uranus is, I would consider a benefic planet, but probably really neutral. All it does is really going to electrify, so that's going to be good luck. And the area for a Libra ascendant that would be in is the 8th or 9th house, house of sex, death, and transformation. So transformation, you may have a very beneficial transformation. Death could be involved, but you would get an inheritance out of it if it did occur. Or you may just receive some kind of unknown money, like some small, small, when I say small, it could be like thousands out of nowhere, right? Because that's what the 8th house can represent. That's the card. 9th house would be like travel or higher learning, wisdom, as compared to Gemini, which would be knowledge. Sagittarius would be wisdom, and like your philosophy on life. So you may adopt a very beneficial philosophy on life. You may actually go get to travel or something like that. But it's very lucky being in those planets all touching in Taurus and Gemini like that. Those are all benefics, so that it's very good. And there's not really none of the malefics are really influencing them in like a major way. So it could be a very fortuitous time. If you don't know your ascendant, I was saying this, the houses for Libra ascendant, but if you don't know your ascendant, you can look at my video in my astrology section on how to do it. You need to know what time you were born, I'm down to the minute, where you were born, and the date you were born. And that'll give you your ascendant. And it changes approximately every 2 hours, so you really need to know down to the minute. And that'll give you an idea of where this little cluster of luck is in your natal chart. It can be very beneficial right now. And it could still even, your inner world, so Gemini and Sagittarius is, details and big picture, or like knowledge, wisdom. So where the moon is at, that would be your inner world. You may be thinking about how to make more money. You may be thinking about communicating, or your siblings even, or learning something new. But the sun being in Gemini will be how to implement it. Your inner world will be thinking of the big picture around those things. The sun in Gemini would be like how you implement them. And it would be very fortuitous time right now to try to implement things, because you're very likely to be successful. But anyway, the card that you got was your commitment is being tested. And we're going to see how that plays out here. I just ate some apples. Looks like it has to do with money. When doesn't have to do with money, right? Ooh, or love. Now, commitment doesn't necessarily mean your commitment like in your relationship. It could be your commitment to what like your faith is, where you're putting your faith. Like if you're trying to manifest something, you really need to have faith. Not just belief or like the idea that you can do it. Faith. Like it's gonna happen. Like you're convinced. That's the commitment that would be tested. Little things might pop up to try to discourage you from whatever your goal is. And if you falter, and it does affect you psychologically and emotionally, and you do alter your attempt at manifesting this, or you lessen your attempt, you failed. Right? That's how Saturn tests us, believe it or not. So you're going to want to stick with it, have faith, no matter what comes your way. Stay in your faith. Your commitment. Now, it could be your relationship. Your commitment could actually be being tested. And you do have a 2 of Cups out here. It's in the outcome, but the outcome, having this in the outcome is good. That means you are getting love, or that love is going to triumph over everything, because in my opinion, and I suggest many of you would agree, love always wins. It just does. In the end, it's going to win, because love is the truth, and the truth will always come forward. Always. It has to. This was on the bottom. This is feeling opulent, having a lot. The court card has to do with generosity. The main card, the give and the take. So you could be being generous, or people can be being generous to you, or you could be wanting to. You could be wanting to be generous, but you're worried about money. Now, I give money freely. I see homeless people, I give them money. Not every single time, because I don't have cash on me every single time, but pretty much if I have a couple dollars on me, I always give it away because I want to stay in the flow of money, right? I'm not afraid to spend money. I spend money because I spend money. I stay in the flow of it because if you're receiving money, you also need to be spending money, right? You want it to be in a flow. You don't want to block it on either side because then the flow stops. You may be wanting to be generous, but you're like, man, I'm worried about my money. I can't really give. And I'm not saying ever give more than you can, but like give where you can and when you can without the thought of return. You shouldn't even be thinking about return on it. Being generous, if you want to be generous, and it looks like you do, like you can't let this enter in your mind. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to like give more than you can give, right? Or hurt yourself in any way. But what little you can give. You know what I mean? Help. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be money. Just you'd be surprised giving selflessly how much is returned unto us. I'm telling you, it's the truth. Anytime I'm a very generous and good person to other people, it always comes back to me. I'm just telling you, it does. And I believe that for everyone. But you also have to have the mechanism right. Like you need to have your headspace in a good, positive headspace. Your emotions in a good, positive space. Not projecting your shadow everywhere, which means you have to be open and know your dark and your light aspects and have them working together. And not really having like intention behind anything you're doing, just doing it for the sake of doing it, which is very difficult, by the way. Because you're always thinking about, well, you know, this, that, or the other. Like, if I give money to like a homeless person or something like that, or even somebody I know, or just helping somebody out, I don't think about what they're going to do with the money. Because most of the homeless people in the area that I live in, they're probably going to go buy drugs. But I don't care about that. Because if I was in their situation, I would want to be given to me to help. And they may be going to get food. They may be trying to better their life, right? But that's not for you to determine. You're just there to give, and they're giving you an opportunity to give so that it can be returned to you, which is a wonderful thing, being able to have the opportunity. And you can give in so many different ways, to children, to charities, to whatever, like donating your time and effort. If it's money that you're worried about, like so you can't, like you feel like you can't really help, donating your time is helpful too. It is. And your effort. I mean, like that's just as important as money. If you feel like this seems to be heavily around money, though. It seems like in the recent past you were juggling money. You're trying to balance your money. And I don't know if this commitment has to do directly with money, but it looks like it does. Like it looks like you're really wanting to help in some way, or like wanting to give. Or receive, I guess. You could be receiving. You could be the one getting the help. But most likely it looks like you really want to help in some way, or you're really trying to receive in some way. Because this could be an inheritance. Like in the unconscious influence, this could be, some of you may have gotten some kind of inheritance. But it could be that this is just around you, that you have the abundance that you need all around you. You just have to stop worrying. Like, you'd be surprised how often, you wouldn't even be surprised. Start going through all the times that you've worried about things and how often it was actually really warranted. Even when it does happen, like maybe the way you thought you were worried about it would happen, did it ever actually help you worrying? Did it change anything? No. All you did was just make yourself upset for a while. And that sucks. There's no real reason that we have to do that. It's part of naturally being human, and you don't want to repress anything. You want to acknowledge everything that comes into you, but you still have a choice on how long or in what ways it affects you, because that's where your power lies. You're refusing to see something. Something's being offered to you, I think. This could definitely be you receiving. Not just giving. Some of you it's probably giving, but some of you receiving. You're not wanting to accept something from someone. Somebody may be trying to help you out, and you're just like, nah. Like that whole independence thing, like I can take care of myself type of thing. And you probably can. But you also don't want to refuse anybody else's ability to give, because you're blessing them when you allow them to do that, when you accept their gifts. Many cultures, not accepting gifts is a freaking insult, man. They will be pissed if you didn't accept their gift. They'd be like, yo. Like back in the day, if you didn't accept a gift, they'd probably be off with your head, depending on the culture. Like allowing someone to give, in your head you're thinking you're trying to be humble and you want them to have plenty for themselves and you don't want to take away from them. But you're taking away their ability to give and be blessed. Because when they give to you, they're going to be blessed. It's going to come back to them. You give them the ability to be kind and to be good. You give them that ability. Somebody offers me something, gives me a gift. I'm like, thanks. I'm going to take it. If I can use it, I'm going to take it. Because I understand that. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to know that now they feel good because they were able to give something. Even in and of itself, that is a gift. So like this whole give and take thing, you may be having an issue with this, Libra. And you're the scales. So like you should be able to understand this balance better than anyone. You have 2 2s. That's the master builder. 3 2s. You have 3 2s. So 2 2 2. Another reading I had, I don't remember which one, had 2 2 2. That's a builder number. That's also a balance number, right? 6 is the middle vibration of 9. So if 2 2 2 would be 6, that's the middle vibration of 9. That's balance. That's freaking Libra, man. So like, let people give. Also give if you can. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself in detriment, but don't take anyone else's ability to like be generous, because like that's a gift. That's your gift to them. Just receiving is a gift to them. So it's like it goes both ways. It's a beautiful thing. Generosity is awesome on both sides of it. You know, and this is what's in front of you, a new beginning, some kind of new explosion of energy, something you're going to be passionate about. And it may have to do with this like charity situation or like this nonprofit or something that you're trying to involve with. You know, you have a lot of 2s here. So if you're trying to build something like that, like a charity or something, this is, you know, you can do it. But you need to get donations and stuff so that you can support your charity if that's what you're trying to do. You know, it's you creating right now. You have the ability to create exactly what you want. I told you with the astrology, this is a good time to put things into action. You have to break down the details of your big picture, but you'll have success in implementing it right now if you do it. Planning in your environment, planning. Looks like there's some kind of undertaking here that involves something like that. Wanting to give something out or needing to receive so that you can give something out. The whole give and the take, right? A wish, healing. This is your advice. Whatever you're wishing for, don't give up on. If you're healing, keep healing. Think positive, be good. Outcome, love, all good. Like, it's going to be good. That's the other 2 right there. And if that's what you're trying to manifest, if someone's trying to offer you love and you're refusing, accept. So it's maybe somebody that it's one of your loved ones is trying to help you out, or it's someone that loves you. Maybe you don't know it because you're closing off. You're not wanting to accept what they've got. Maybe they're offering you financial support. Accept it. Don't be independent. Give them the ability to be blessed. Or if you're offering financial to someone else and they're not wanting to receive it, explain to them what I just explained to you. And they'll probably look at it differently. They'll be like, wow, I never thought of it like that. And they might actually be like, okay, yeah, let's do this. That type of thing. Okay? It's all good both ways. Like, you don't want to overtake. If you're taking, you also want to be giving. You know what I mean? And who's to say what ratio is correct? Generally, the flow will tell you that. Just kind of go with the flow. And the balance will work itself out. Like, what ratios will work themselves out. But your commitment is being tested in this situation. And it could be financially. But it also could be emotionally. So stick with it. Don't give up. Don't let any discouragement get to you. You have everything you need. It's saying it right there. You have everything you need. But if you want to create it, don't give up. Keep your faith in it. Because that's what's going to bring it forward. And it looks like it'll even bring forward love. In all of its forms. Whether it be in a new relationship, your current relationship, just the people around you, more love for your species, you know, more love for even other species, right? More love for the earth. Any of that. Love is always the answer, and love always wins. It's just the way it works. Okay, Libra. That's all I have. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. And turn on that notification bell, because I've noticed I'm not getting a lot of people coming back. My guess is they're only clicking on it when they see it recommended to them on the main page. So if you don't want to miss my videos, and I always do it on the new moon and full moon, because the entire medium of astrology is based off of the fundamental science of astrology. So I do it on the moons. But every video I upload, if you put that bell, you'll know every single time. And hopefully that'll get people to actually start coming back. But either way, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just glad that you're here, Libra, and I hope to see you here again. Happy full moon.